¿Qué pasa, familia de dinero? I am your host, Champion El Dinero, a truck driver on a detour towards wealth, and I hope that you join me on the journey. And if you are already subscribed, you're looking fantastic today. Did you do something? I like it. Keep doing it. And if you're new, I like you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We talk news about certain stocks. I don't look at pretty much a chart, because penny stocks are highly volatile. Some days people love them, the others they don't. Now, I'm going to bring to you in this video why we're not seeing an incredible increase in both MicroAlgo and Hollow. Mainly, we're going to focus on MicroAlgo because if you didn't know, it pumped to like crazy overnight. I was in the midst of the day, and I decided to wear my running shoes. I'll show you what they are. I decided to wear these nice Adidas running shoes. I love them. I love them. I love them. But it was raining, and I got my boots here. I leave them in the truck, and you know, the DeWalt's, no water was gonna get in there. But in these, oh, it was a bad day. Yeah, have you had a wet sock? A wet sock? And then I was like, man, I gotta drive with my flip-flops because I had wet socks. And then I went to the pilot. I was like, hey, do you guys got socks? They were like, no. I was like, oh, man. So I literally put my socks on the AC, but, you know, turned it to heat. And it worked. But anyway, we're going to be talking about all that and more. Make sure to join the Discord. We have an amazing group. It's not just about, you know, it is primarily a stock market kind of penny stock Discord, but we also talk about life itself in the Discord. We have individuals in there that probably want to talk about video games, but we try to keep it focused 100% on stocks, but we like to get to know one another in the Discord. So join that. It's in the description below. On top of that, if you want to join the fantasy penny stock football that I do every Sunday, that's also in the description. All that out the way, let's talk about what happened to MicroAlgo. I'll tell you guys a fantastic story that happened this morning. I woke up this morning at 2 a.m. Some of y'all don't even know what that looks like. I'll tell you what it looks like. It's dark, right? So I'm just minding my own business, and I decided to open up my little old Robinhood app. And I said, let me check it out. Oh my goodness, I'm up. I'm rich. No, I'm not rich. I wish I was, but I'm not. If I was rich, I'd tell everybody, hey, well, this is what we got to do to get rich. If you joining me, if you're here now, keep rocking. But I will be, but you know, I wasn't this morning. Anyway, so I checked MicroAlgo. It pumped 48% out of nowhere. Like, and what I think what happened is there was a notice that went out yesterday at investing.com released MicroAlgo receives NASDAQ minimum bid price warning. So if you don't know what that is, I'll go into it. Simple terms, pretty much they're below a certain threshold to be still on the NASDAQ. So it's a warning. They're saying, hey, you have until March 20 something. I'll get the information for you. MicroAlgo, a computer programming service company, has been notified by the NASDAQ stock market that it has not met the minimum bid price requirement for continued listing on the exchange. Today, MicroAlgo disclosed that it received the notification on September 23rd, 2024, which was yesterday, after its security closed bid price fell below the dollar per share minimum for 31 consecutive business days. That is not good. That is not good. This notice does not currently affect MicroAlgo's listing or trading on the NASDAQ capital market. The company is now in a 180-day period ending on March 24th. I was off by a day, 2025, to regain compliance with NASDAQ listing rule. So, to achieve this, the closing bid price of MicroAlgo stock must be at least $1 for a minimum of 10 consecutive business days within this time frame. So, pretty much, you know, if you've seen MicroAlgo, what it likes to do is sudden bursts, and we got that overnight. It could have been an attempt in order to consume much of the stock that was out there by the company itself. We would have to look into the details on that. I'll let those that go analytically talk about that. But it could be, okay, hey, you know what, we're doing a substantial push, we're trying to get in position, we do have to eventually, you know, pop up. And MicroAlgo is somewhat different from MicroCloud holograms. It does pop by itself uniquely, but it also does pop when MicroCloud hologram pops as well. Sometimes it lacks, but I think that these two companies, based in almost identically in the same area, these two companies have the same plan, and they're at the same price point typically. Right now, MicroAlgo is at 21, Hollow is at 23. Now, I believe since there's a reverse split, and I mentioned this, MicroCloud Hologram wants to be at 25 cents. When it reverse splits, it's $5, right? So that is the objective, that is the goal. They might do that pre-market or after market hours in order to achieve that dream. When it comes down to MicroAlgo, it is something that it pops, right? It hasn't popped from, you know, pennies like we are right now, like 20 cents, but it has popped from $1 to all the way up to astronomical levels. And of course, if you get in low and sell high, you know, you might have had a chance around 7 o'clock. I believe you're allowed to sell determining on your level. You would have came out with a profit. But a lot of people are kind of like myself, waiting for the big bang. And so I'm the individual that is like, you know what? All it takes is one day, one moment, one thing for it to just change. And so, you know, even if you bought a bunch of shares at 20 cents, I'm talking about probably 10,000 shares at 20 cents, wrote it up to where it was. Let me go ahead and bring it up to its highest. You'll be sitting pretty. But a lot of people want the big boom. And typically you're going to have to be patient, or it's never going to happen at all. But if I bring up MicroAlgo, when it opened, it was up 28 cents, right? And 29 cents at its highest for the day. But unfortunately, you know, there was people that instantly got on and sold. So if you bought at 20 and it went up to 29, you went up a significant amount, 49%. That's a good day. You are not going to get that typically if you were to do ETFs or anything like that. So a lot of smart players, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, pumpers are going to pump. They're going to pump, and then they're going to take profits. Yeah, it's a smart idea. But there is a thing when individuals try to get in and it's too late. Now you're back ordered and you're not going to be the one that's selling incrementally when the opportunity presents itself. Give me 1 second. So with news like this, and I'm not a financial advisor and I am not a crystal ball, but with news like this, we can definitely see more pops. Now, substantially, from what I've seen others talk about, we can see a pop from 20 cents to $3. We can see a pop from 20 cents to, I don't know, $1. We can see it go to 70 cents and then withdraw and then get to the 50s and pump all the way up. So it could be a game. It's a repeat hollow game, right? And so I do believe that when we see hollow, granted, if we get a reverse split and a pop, we can see MicroAlgo pop, but not as significant as, you know, hollow. I think October is going to be a really big month, but if you got to this portion of the video, you're going to get the best part of it all. Well, the Chinese economic status right now is kind of in turmoil, and they're trying to make up for all the damage that's going on within their economy. And so they sent out stimulus. Now, their stimulus is different from, you know, when we did it back in the, I call it the, what's it called? The, I would say the mask era, right? I call it the mask era, where we had to put the mask on. And so the stimulus doesn't go directly towards the individuals. It goes to stocks and props up businesses. And so the businesses are able to do more. Now, the ideology, I don't know. I think it's more stimulus to give the money to the individuals, and then the individuals buy the companies and whatnot. But either way, if you're a trader, Chinese stock market is up on that side. Now, does that does that pretty much transmute into the American NASDAQ with Chinese stocks? I don't know. I would think so, but I don't know. This is kind of a new situation here in this year. So with all this information, I don't think that Hollow and I don't think that MicroAlgo, that both of them kind of copy each other. I don't think that this is coincidence. I think this is all by design. And so obviously MicroCloud Hologram is showing quite a bit, especially with their 6K. It's unaudited. A lot of people ask the question, why isn't it on their website? At that time, now they could have updated. I'm doing that as I talk, but I still think due to the fact that it's unaudited, that pretty much it's not going to be represented on the website. Now, they could have finally updated it. Let me double check here and see if that is correct. From what I can see, I don't see anything. Give me 1 second. No, so they didn't update it on the website. No press release or anything like that. And the craziest thing is like, typically, what I believe we're gonna see is this from MicroCloud hologram that transmutes into MicroAlgo. The split decision is gonna happen Thursday for anybody in the U.S., Friday for anybody in China. That decision will happen. And then what will happen is that we'll get Monday, on that Monday, which is a bad Monday for the U.S., unfortunately. Not a lot of people know why. I'm not going to get into it. But I think on Monday, or, yeah, it's possible Monday, but I think more so Tuesday, is going to be your biggest day in October for it. We might see a press release. We'll see a press release. Tuesday, we might see a jump. We possibly might see it Tuesday, but I think Friday, as those people have said, a lot of individuals have said, Friday might be the start of what we can see. And when it comes down to MicroAlgo, you can kind of see a mimic, a distraction. I think MicroCloud hologram is a distraction to some of the catalysts of MicroAlgo, but I think these two kind of play hand in hand. They're two touching twins. So I don't want to make it weird, but anyway, that's my position on it. That's what I think when it comes down to MicroAlgo and why it pumped. I think it pumped due to the fact that somebody's consuming this, knowing either, you know, after market hours or pre-market hours that this is gonna pop, and they're getting in position for it, and that's why they probably bought a whole bunch, or a bunch of people bought a whole bunch at one point to position themselves. Everything with these stocks have been about positioning. Wall Street manipulates NVIDIA, right? So we got a whole bunch of retail investors. We get some news. People are like, "Ooh, let me buy NVIDIA," not knowing that, you know, Wall Street bought it at the dip. They sold preemptively. Everybody else sold, brought it down. They bought it. Then the retail buys it, brings it back up to a new level, sell. They're smart like that, and that's the thing. I don't think, since, you know, I don't speak Chinese. I'm not, you know, familiar. And last thing I want to say, I forgot to also mention this. Shout out to username on the Discord. You can translate, if you go into the Discord, you can translate the Chinese version of the website for MicroCloud holograms and see what they're working on. Now, I don't know if it's 100%. It looks 100%. They do have patents and whatnot that I've seen for some of their subsidiaries. So when it comes down to the knowledge that I'm gaining for it, you know, it does look like they're doing certain things over on the Chinese side. And I'll bring this up again in a holo video. And pretty much, is this is an interesting time. This is definitely an interesting time when it comes down to the stock market with the Chinese stock. Even the U.S. stock market is very interesting. So with that being said, thank you guys. Thank you, champion investors, Familia de Dinero, for watching this video. And I will catch all of you in the next one. Adios.